This year in NYTS, I am assigned to share the book of Joshua. Joshua is the book of victory, and from the very beginning, that the Lord promised Joshua that there is no enemy that can stand in front of you, that no one is able to oppose you, and you shall conquer the land. And indeed, that in our class we study about how God opened the Jordan River, that they were able to overcome the obstacle. And we are talking about the city of Jericho, how the Lord helped them and guide them and bring them the victory. Though that we have not yet finished talking about the city of Jericho, I want to skip and go ahead a little bit in this prayer section, that we want to talk about the city of Ai, how they were defeated. You might feel puzzled because that the Lord promised that no one can stand against you in all of your days. You shall be victorious upon victory. You shall be conquering the land. But only not long after they entered the land of Canaan, that they faced, or Joshua faced, the defeat. Where is the promise of God? How come it was not fulfilled? In the class, many times that we mention that all the promise in the Bible, they are called and known as conditional. So yes, it is a promise, but the promise only fulfilled when you fulfill your end of bargain. So it is not only a promise that God made, but it is also a covenant that you signed. So let's go to Joshua chapter 7. Joshua chapter 7, verse 1. But the sons of Israel act unfaithfully regarding the things designated for destruction. For Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zebdi, the son of Zerah, from the tribe of Judah, took some of the designated thing. Therefore, the anger of the Lord burned against the son of Israel. Verse 2. Now Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is near Beth-aven, east of Bethel, and said to them, Go up and spy out the land. So the men went up and spied out of Ai. Verse 3. Then they returned to Joshua and said to him, Do not have all the people go up. Have only about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and attack Ai. Do not trouble all the people. Do not trouble all the people there, for they are few. So about 3,000 men went from the people went up there, but they fled from the men of Ai. And the men of Ai struck and killed about 36 of their men, and pursued them from the gate as far as Shebron, and struck them on the mountainside. And the heart of the people melted and became like water. Verse 6. Then Joshua torn his clothes and fell on the ground on his face before the ark of the Lord. Until the evening, both him and the elders of Israel, and they put dust on their head. So then here the Bible record the defeat of the city of Ai. Nowadays, well, at least for me, when I was preparing for the class of Joshua, when I was reading the passage, it gives you this very weird feeling nowadays as you are reading it. In the past, when we talk about the battle with the city of Ai, defeating the city of Ai, usually because of the pronunciation, the city of Ai, then the elaboration always goes to this I, you know, I will do this, I will do that. Right? This is the I generation. Everything is about you. Everything is about what I want, what I like. So not only in school, but also at home. Not only at home, but also in the church. We have such a strong self-centeredness. Huh? So it is all about I, and that elaborate into your pride. Okay? So in the past, when we talk and share about this recording, this story, is often always related to I. Like in Isaiah chapter 14, I will do this, I will do that. And eventually the Lord say that you shall be cut down. Oh, the morning star. Okay? So that's the elaboration in the past. That it sounds like the city of I, referring to our arrogance, our ego, our self-centered, our selfishness. But nowadays, well, it's not projected. If you have the title City of I, and when you read it, you don't read a city of I. What do you read? You read, oh, I thought you were going to type it for us. Yeah. Who's in the back? Okay. Nowadays, just in these 2 years, instead of city of I, now you read, oh, city of AI. Right? At least for me. I don't know if you, I don't know if you're obsessed. I don't know if you're obsessed with using AI, ChatGPT, Gemini's, or I'm not sure if you are obsessed and utilizing the hardest new technology, AI. So now you don't read this, oh, city of I. You are like, oh, AI. You know what? Think about it. Maybe in your generation, that's the new enemy that you need to deal with. In my generation, perhaps our biggest enemy is ourself. Is ourself. That we are dealing with our arrogance, our pride. We want to be somebody. We want to step upon other people's shoulder and climb the corporate ladder. Right? Maybe. But this generation, as you can see from the internet, also from the statistical research from the AI company, okay, they do show report like what are the percentage of people searching for what kind of topic. And then they realize that there's a high usage of the user for AI is nothing but using them as companion, soulmate. Okay? They tell everything to AI. They need to receive comfort. AI is their best friend and sometimes only friend. Okay? Because AI never mock them. AI never ridicule them for their look. AI always praise them positive. Okay? It doesn't matter what you say to AI, they are designed. They are designed to say something to make you happy. Okay? I also use AI, not a heavy user. I'm not a heavy user. I am only a free rider. Okay? If it's free, I use it. Okay? Sometimes I ask them questions about different topics, and sometimes that I try to cut down on it because I realize that the more I talk to them, I get really frustrated, and I start engage into a bickering, an argument with AI. I'll be like, dude, you are a computer. How can you do calculation wrong? All right? Why do I have to keep on reminding you this is not the right number? All right? I might as well just do it myself. I get into arguments with AI. That's pretty dumb. I know. Yeah. But it's better AI than you, right? All right. It's better for me to release my anger, anxiety to AI than to my kids or to you. Okay. So you need to thank AI for that. Not much nicer. Yeah. But that I argue with them. I was like, why? How did you get you are computer? How can you get wrong on mathematical calculation? And you know what they always say? You can upgrade to the pay version. I was like, no, I'm not upgrading to the pay version. Yeah. But you know what? This generation, you see that according to the statistic, a huge portion of AI conversation is that I am lonely and sad. I am empty and friendless. So they are holding AI as their soulmate, as their companion. And honestly, that's very sad. That's very sad. So in my generation, perhaps be somebody is the biggest thing. Okay, competitiveness, climbing the corporate ladder, like being wealthy, being on the top. So my generation is a generation of I. Perhaps your generation, that's your biggest enemy. It's not AI itself, it's how you are using AI. Okay? That when AI become your only friend, then perhaps you are very, very lonely and very, very empty at heart. But at this time, you need to be reminded. You need to be reminded that though that the city of AI present as a fierce enemy, but you are able to defeat the enemy by the power of the Lord. So let's go back to the recording about the story. Why were they defeated? Okay? They were able to overcome city of Jericho, a big city, but they fall to the hand of a smaller, not very small. You know what? They were not very weak. They were not very small. Smaller than Jericho, but not very small and not very weak. But how? How come they lost to us? They were able to overcome city of Jericho, but later they were defeated by a much weaker enemy. So let's look at why were they defeated. Learn from their mistake first, and then we will talk about how do we regain our victory and our glory. So what was the first problem that we saw in here? The first problem is that after they defeat the city of Jericho, the next city that they were facing, smaller, is called the city of Ai. And Joshua, he sent the spy check out the city. The spy came back and said, it is not a big deal. It is not a big deal. Compared to Jericho, they were nothing. If we can conquer Jericho, we can take down city of Ai easily. They were nothing to us. 2,000, 3,000, too much, no problem. And Joshua took their word for it. Joshua took their word for it. So what do we see in here? In here, we see a few things. The first is that They were taking the past experience from the city of Jericho, and they feel that city of Ai is not a problem at all. But who conquered the city of Jericho? Did they do anything? Yeah, they did something. They were like wandering, making circle, making circle, making circle. Did they crack down the wall? Did they besiege the city? Did they do anything in order for them to gain the city of Jericho? No, it's all the power of the Lord. But at this time, they took that experience. Yeah, we defeat the city of Jericho, but they missed the parenthesis, the quote. They missed the parenthesis that God made it happen for us. No, now it's me. I am the one. I am the one. So they took that experience and turned it into their pride. Turned it into their pride. Many years ago, there was a brother. He was having a pretty successful business. God bless him. God bless him. So from scratch, that he was able to start up a company, and the company grow and become. He became quite well to do. Okay? Very successful. His own company. Just a successful businessman. But after he became like more and more successful, the way that he talk in the church to people start change a little bit. He would, that when he said to the church council, and he will be like, "Oh, this idea is so bad," and he will be like, "If you are my employee, if you were my employee, I will laid you off already. You fired. You fired. You'll be yeah. I'll fire you. I'll fire you." Like he go around. He said that to the council. He also said that to the pastor. Yeah, yeah. Nicer though. Nicer. Yeah, for the member or for the church council, he'll be like, "I'll fire you." And for the pastor, he's nicer. He's like, "You won't make it in my company." Is it not the same thing? Yeah, but just a nicer way, huh? So you know what? He was like just he was like big shot in the church. Like he talked to people like top to bottom. Yeah, you bottom feeders. Yeah, me. And then he would tell people, "I am professional. Single-handedly bring up the company." So church operation so outdated, so weak. You guys don't know what you're doing. You need me to teach you what to do. Like that. Oh, very, very arrogant. Very, very arrogant. And after a while, everything changed. When he came to church, and he would be like, "Oh, we are all useless. Humans, we know nothing. God is our only reliance." Why? The company is about to go bankrupt. The wind turned, the economy is bad, the company is not doing well, they are losing money. So he was like, "Oh, prayer is the only way that can save us. God is all." Sometimes people are like that. So here you found that when they defeat Jericho, that kind of pride, we did it. No, God did it. So you see that they say, "It's okay, no big deal, 2,000-3,000 people. If we can take down Jericho, is nothing." And they were defeated. Arrogant. Okay? So that's one thing that we need to be careful when it comes to that God help us in the past. God allow you to be who you are. So you need to show appreciation and understand we need him. We need him. Okay? That's one thing that we need to keep in mind. And also, what we found is that sin in the city of Jericho, God command, do not take anything. Okay, burn them. Do not take everything, anything. But as we know that the story of Achan, he saw gold and silver and beautiful clothes, so he decided, I am taking them. Okay? So when the Lord spoke to Joshua, as he was asking why, how could such a thing be? That the Lord said to Joshua, because sin is in the camp. Okay? Because they are people went against the words of God. So when the sin is not purged, consequentially defeat is at the door. Okay? So you have to remember, if you want to live a victorious life, purity, sanctification is the essential key to bring you to the high ground. It's the essential key to bring you the crown of glory. Okay? So number one, we found that they were arrogant. They were arrogant. Okay? Of course, you realize one thing, it's not just the people. It's not just the people of Israel. When they came back with the news, yeah, that's nothing. All right, just that sometimes we feel it's not such a big deal. God understand missing one Sabbath is okay. You know what? Very often in our life, we are also using this kind of mentality. It's not that big of a deal. Okay? God would understand. All right? Very often we use that to justify our action or try to comfort our soul. It's not a big deal. But at this time, even Joshua, you see, after the spy came back and told him, he did not inquire of the Lord. Did not. Oh, okay. People go. Yeah, come back and tell me what happened. He did not go and check out the place himself, unlike the Jericho. And he did not inquire of the Lord in facing the city of Ai. Because he also feel, oh, you know what? It's not a big deal. So be careful that kind of mentality of it's not a big deal. I wouldn't fall. I wouldn't fail. I wouldn't be defeated. I wouldn't be overcome by sin. I am okay. It's not a big deal. It's this kind of small things that perhaps could eventually take you down. Many years ago, in one of the sharing that among the preachers, that one of the pastors shared a very sad story that happened in his resident church. This was in Taiwan. He told me, it's a group. He told us that in his local church there was a great godly brother who really want to be a full-time pastor. And there was a very godly sister, devoted, who really want to one day be used by the Lord and perhaps be the wife of the pastor. So that they just have dreams in the same church. And the brother was the person in charge of the youth fellowship, and the sister happened to be elected as the assistant. Okay, so they were always talking about holy work, because both of them are very active, responsible, and very fervent. So yeah, everything began by it's all about church work. And then they start, because that there's limited time that you can spend in the church. So for the holy work, they start to meet outside a cafe just to do holy, just to design curriculum, planning, activity. They were doing plannings. But it was known by some members, and they went and approached the youth, and say, you know what? You two are young and single, and perhaps it's not so good. One brother, one sister, me outside, and the brother did not take it well, and the brother was like, "What were you thinking in your mind? We are very pure. It's only about holy work. It's only about the fellowship. Yeah, don't judge us. Don't look at it like this. Yeah, you know that they feel that they are very strong. It has nothing to do with feelings. It's only about holy work. So that's why they deter. They deter uh all the approaching of the members. All right, the church member approached them. The council approached them to tell them this is not. It doesn't look very. I mean, it's not very well. So from meeting in the church to meeting in the cafe, and they also meet at home. They figure that they are just, if we are innocent, your words means nothing. Your words means nothing. Okay? So they have this confident. But you know what? The problem is faith. Our faith fluctuates. Like in NYTS, you pray through 2 hours, 3 hours, you are at the peak. But you are not always at the peak. So when you are not at the peak, or you are at the bottom low, and you are in a very tempting environment, so they commit adultery, they commit fornication. They were desperate. The brother who dreamed and aim and go to be a full-time TJC pastor can no longer do it. No. Just because they thought, that they thought we have no problem. We are very strong in our faith. And then they fend off every suggestion, all the advice. They say, you know what? You guys got problem. Like, that you guys need to, your mind is not very clear. We are very innocent. But the things you never know. When you open the door and have the opportunity, you grant Satan the opportunity, then defeat is coming. So, yeah, just do not think, oh, it's not a big deal. It's just innocent. It's not a big deal. You are digging a hole that will eventually bury you alive. So please be reminded. And Joshua did not bother calling and praying to the Lord, inquire of the Lord. And then also we found another problem other than Achan. We said that Achan sinned against God. God was angry. Okay, we know that. But also, if you continue to read in verse 7. And Joshua said, "O Lord God, why did you ever bring these people across the Jordan only to hand us over to the Amorite to eliminate us?" That was a terrible prayer. God, if you did not allow me to do this, then I wouldn't be in trouble. You know that if one day you are short of money and you pray, God, I am about to rob the bank. Okay? If you did not show me a vision and say no, that means you agree with that. If I go out and I am not struck by a car, that means you are okay with the plan. Sometimes we are doing this kind of thing. God, if you did not stop me, means that you agree with me. You know what they are? They are youth that will call different pastor over the same question with some hidden factors. Right? They will call around to different pastor, but they might not give the pastor the full story and ask the pastor, "What do you think about it?" Oh, then we'll be like innocently, right? We'll be like, "Oh, you know what? From our understanding, then this is what happened. This is the result." And they will take that if it's in their favor. They will take that to go with another. Oh, but so and so pastor say this is okay, right? You give a limited. You are like giving incomplete information. You get something that you want. You go and try to negotiate with a different pastor. You go around and calling different pastor until you get what you want. This is very much like a scammer. Yeah. You are scamming the pastor because you only want what you want by hiding some key information, getting certain things. But the things you have to understand one thing. We, the pastor, we are not sitting on the throne on the judgment day. What happens if you are able to get what you want by by not disclosing all the facts, and the pastor innocently gave you something and say, "Oh, if that's the case, it is okay." Then you go around and say, "Oh, so and so pastor say it is okay." Do you do that? Do you go around and try to set things up so that you get what you want? You might be able to get away with men. Number one, such a mentality, it only make you a liar. If you are able to deceive the pastor, if you are able to deceive the congregation, if you are able to deceive yourself by say, "Oh, so and so pastor say I am okay," on the judgment day, and the Lord will look down at you from the throne of judgment and say, "Oh, but I say no." What's the point? We are not the one that judging you. The Bible is what judges you. God is the one that judges you. So what if you are able to get a answer that cater to your need, but it's not going to pass on the judgment day? What's the point? What is the point? So please do remember in here, Joshua said, "God, why did you even bother? If we never crossed Jordan, we wouldn't have any problem." Do we do that? Do we do that? Blame everything on God. Oh, God, that if you let me have a car accident, then I would never be able to show up on the sister's house, and we will never commit sexual immorality. God, why don't you stop me? It's you that caused it. You see the problem? All right, we are done with problem. That's how they were defeated. Arrogant. Okay? Not inquire of the Lord. Sin. Never completely clean themselves and purge the sin. And number three, try to find excuse. Not my problem. Because God didn't stop me. It's God's fault. God. All those will bring you the defeat from the city of Ai. So what do you do when you are facing such a low, defeated life? Number one, yes, Joshua came to, as we said, that the prayer of Joshua is not very, very good, because he said, "God, if you did not allow us to cross Jordan, then we will be fine, right? We wouldn't be annihilated." That was a bad prayer. But at the end of the day, he did come to the Lord. Right? He did come to the Lord. So at the end of the day, he did come to the Lord and ask God for solution, ask God for an answer. So what are the answer? There are three. Number one, the Lord said to him, stop. You know that the Bible told us that he was like wearing the sackcloth, got the ashes over his head, pray for the morning to the evening. You might say, wow, sincerity. That's not what God said. God was not, we might feel that, oh, if I pray hard, everything will be fine, right? He prayed from the morning to the evening. The only thing that he received from God is, stop it. Stop it. There are times you need to stop praying. Stop praying. God told him, please stop. Don't pray anymore. Get up and fix the problem. Remember what we say. Do not allow prayer to become an excuse not to fix the problem. All right? Oh, I pray already. Yeah, I hurt somebody. I offend somebody. I did terrible things. But I pray already. If God forgave me already, who are you guys to tell me I need to say sorry? Right? Sometimes we use prayer only as an excuse to justify for not dealing with it, for not facing it, for not to say sorry. God said to Joshua, enough, get up. You need to, prayer is not for you to forgive yourself. Prayer is for you to realize your mistake, gather the courage, get up and deal with it. So number one, there are times to pray, but prayer must be converted into an act of repentance. You need to have actions. Okay? That's number one. Number two, they kill Achan and his family. You might say, why his family? They stone everybody. Why? Where did Achan hide all the gold and silver and the dresses? In the tent. The whole family were in it. They say nothing about it. So they say nothing about it, and they will purge along with it. So number two, if you want to be restored and repaired, go from defeat to victory. Number two, you need to purge the iniquity. Deal with the sin. You come here, you pray. But have you analyzed your life, evaluate the problem, and make the determination, I am going to deal with it so hard that I will hurt myself. I will cut off the iniquity that even it make me painful. That was the determination. That is the determination that we need. You need to purge the sin. It took 38 years for God to wait until the older generation passed, purging, before God said, now you can cross Jordan. That's number two. Lastly, if you go back, when in chapter 8, verse 1, verse 3, chapter 8, verse 3. So Joshua rose up with all the people of war to go up to Jericho. It's no longer 2,000, 3,000, more than enough. This time they mobilized the entire army. They are dealing with city of Ai, no different than Jericho. Everybody, let's go. Mobilize the entire army. Planning the strategy. Joshua fully activate his sense as a military leader. They have strategy, they have plan, they ambush. They took it very serious. No longer joking, no longer just play around and fall around. This time, they are serious. So they mobilized the entire army of the Lord, set up the strategy, and then they leave the enemy not a single room, not a slightest chance to come back. Full power, full throttle, they wipe out the city of Ai. So that's number 3. If you want to deal with your life so that it can be repaired, restored from defeat to victory, you need to give all your attention to the Lord. You need to go beyond yourself and deal with it with full power. That's how you win. Let's all come to the front to pray.